Yo, what it do? What's going on? How y'all doing today? What's going on, Rim Breezy? How you doing, brother?
Never been better. Maybe best day of my life. Well, best week of my life. Since we got to start doing this. What a joy Sunday was. Dolphins, Panthers. We're gonna get into it in a little bit, but
Yeah,
I'm just.
we're not
I mean,
gonna
like,
start with that. I'm not.
I
Don't get me in a bad mood to start the live off.
Hold on, I got something on my face. All
Nobody
right, there we
cares
go.
about that old ass hoodie you have on.
What?
What?
I can't. I'm not wearing the other logo. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, put on the real logo.
No,
the correct one.
I'm not doing it.
Dude, how was your Thanksgiving?
Beautiful.
How was the food? Was good,
bro? It was so damn good. Harris smoked a turkey in the backyard. We had all the sides, all the fixings. There's only 4 of us, so we all ate like kings.
Spiral ham here.
I was literally miserable after the meal. I made it about an hour after eating before I passed out and went to bed. How about you, bud? How was yours?
So it was pretty good. We went over. We did the noon lunchtime over with Camille and her family and her dad.
Nice.
And then Matt and Mallory and his baby came over, and Mallory's grandma, and we had we did like a 6 p.m. dinner thing. So I doubled down.
Oh,
I was hurting. Your boy was hurting. But yeah, so it was fun, man. It was good to see everybody. You know, it's kind of weird being around. I'm so used to not being around everybody on Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Now it's weird that when I am, but it was good.
Yeah, man.
Pretty good. Football was good. Watched a lot of football. Watched a lot of I watched the Egg Bowl a little bit. Watched a lot of the NFL stuff. Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy because we haven't been on, and this is our 2 weeks ago was our last live, I think, because of all the stuff. So we have a lot of shit that's just been going down. Like the sports world is pretty much on fire, and here we are going live in the middle of it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. So I guess I don't know where we start this thing off with. If I hope. By the way, I hope all the viewers, sorry, had a good Thanksgiving. I appreciate everybody checking us out and still hanging in there with us. Maybe 2022. Maybe got some big things coming ahead. We'll see. But yeah, so we had a lot of football. I guess we could start with the Thursday football and start there. NFL had an interesting Thursday. I'm going to week 12 now. The Bears-Lions, that game was terrible.
Oh, God. That was tough to watch, dude. I did the Lions losing on another last-second field goal. Three times this year, last-second field goal for the loss. It's heartbreaking.
How about them Dolphins? Jacob comes in. We're not talking about them yet. We're not on them yet.
Jacob Clayton, by the way, is currently in my living room.
How about it, Jacob? How's the East Coast over there? How's it treating you, brother? But yeah, so the Lions, Bears, nothing really happened in that game. Both teams pretty much just threw up all over the field. Bears ended up winning, though. The Lions are 0-10-1.
Yeah, pretty tough year. Dude, old Dan Campbell, bro. Feel bad for him.
East Coast, West Coast. There we go. I agree with Jacob on that one. Dan Campbell, pretty bad. Remy's got the old Dolphin logo on, and look how much cooler that logo is.
So much better. Right where it belongs, next to my heart.
Next to my heart. And then the Cowboys. The Cowboys are looking more and more like pretenders.
Like the Cowboys.
And don't look now, Washington, the football teams are making a little bit of a comeback. But Raiders go in and beat the Cowboys at home 36-33. Big win for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
They're still hanging around in the playoff hunt, trying to get that wild card spot. The wild card spot in both sides, like for both leagues, are going to be average football teams.
Yeah. Once we kind of go through these, can you pop up the standings on your screen?
Yeah. I mean, we can actually.
Pop up those standings, because it's getting real interesting. We're getting pretty close to crunch time here in the NFL.
Let's do this here. We'll get this going, and we'll get this out of here. So we're just going down to the list here. We got, so if you see here, Dak had a pretty good game. We'll pull up the box score for this game. Dak had a good game, but Derek Carr is still hanging around. He also had a pretty good game. Josh Jacobs started looking more and more like himself. He was pretty injured with that toe injury.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Big win there.
I don't know. Yeah, the Cowboys. It's been a really weird stretch, man. They get dominated, then they win big, and then they get dominated, and they come back and lose this game. It's been a tough stretch for Dallas. They look like they might be the best team in the NFC early on, and they slowed down a good bit.
Yep. Then of course the late game, which wasn't a football game, Buffalo Bills versus the Saints. Trevor Siemian is trash. Also, news coming out of the Saints is he will not be the quarterback.
Yep.
He's not going to be the starting quarterback.
They're going to run Taysom Hill out there again.
They're going to run the triple option that is Taysom Hill.
I love watching it, dude. I love watching tight ends throw passes. So,
but yeah, so the Bills are just hanging around 7-4. I mean, they're a good football team. We'll see if they turn it on, which they haven't done yet. Josh Allen hasn't played to his standards of last year.
Yeah.
But he's having a decent year, but nothing like he had last year.
I mean, I still think they're still a playoff team, I think, but it's not been as smooth as I thought it would be for them this year.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers are good. They're just not where they were last year.
All right. So let's go to the standings here.
Yeah, this is what I want to see. So I noticed this.
Wow.
Look at that, dude. Wait. Go over all the way to the end there where it says streak.
4-win streak, point differential. Patriots. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Overall, dominating. But look at me, it's kind of just everybody's right there. Look at this division.
Mm-hmm. The AFC West is a 7, cluster 4, 6, 5, right 6, now.
5, 6, 5. The Colts, they bounced back. They lost last week. They had a chance to win the game. They've been bouncing back pretty good.
Yep.
Browns are falling off. The Steelers are falling off. The Bengals bounced too big. Dude, the Bengals are got to be one of the biggest surprises of the year.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
The Ravens are pretty good, but they could also lose to anybody as well. So I don't think there's no like standout team. And I mean, the team I would be worried about is probably the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
They're bouncing back.
They've been to 2.
And then you look at the NFC.
NFC
it's kind of more the same. I mean, we have the Rams. They've been falling off. They've lost 3 in a row now. Kind of surprising with the Panthers. They suck something serious. Nothing to talk about there. The Bucks. I mean, the Bucks are battling a lot of injuries and a lot of COVID stuff. And the Packers 9-3. So if you had to pick, who do you think is the best team in football?
The best overall team in the NFL right now?
Yeah. Remy Brennan's power rankings. Give me your top 5.
I think right now this is not my Super Bowl projection, but I think the best team in the NFL right now is the Green Bay Packers. I think that their defense has just been unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they've been real good. After that, I gotta put I don't know how good they are, but the record says that they're good. The Cardinals at 9-2. I mean, they did lose to the Panthers, so I can't understand how a team. I don't understand how a team could do such a thing. But give me the Packers, Cardinals right now. The Patriots at 3. Give me the Buccaneers at 4. And 5, I would say probably the Rams. They've been real bad here lately, but that team's too talented to stay off like this.
So I'm going to go. My number 1 overall team is probably, I'm going to go, I guess it got to go Packers. I agree with you there. I don't think they're going to be there when it's all said and done, but as of right now, my power rankings would be Packers, Bucks, Cardinals, Patriots, Chiefs. I'm leaving the Ravens out of my top 5. Those would be my top 5 power rankings. Even though I guess technically you should put the Ravens over the Chiefs for going on records, but I just don't trust the Ravens.
No, I mean they won last week, but it was. I mean, Lamar Jackson had 4 interceptions. I'm sure we'll break down that game a little bit, but I don't know if you watched it. Holy shit, it got ugly. There were 5 turnovers in a 3-minute span in that football game.
So the Browns are pretty much done. They're dead in the water.
They're done. They're done.
So I guess we can go over the scores from the week. So I guess we'll start with, because we already went over the Thursday games, we'll go, I guess we're going to jump to the Panthers-Dolphins.
Why do you sound so upset about this?
Dolphins beat the Panthers 33-10.
Why are you sad?
Dolphins 4th straight game in a row they've won. The Panthers are reeling. Christian McCaffrey's out for the year. Glass man himself. Man is never healthy. Somebody said, one of the dudes on Pardon My Take said, Cam's stat line sounds like what you would order at a Wild Wings for a bucket of beers. Like not even a good price bucket of beers, 5 for $24. What up,
not a great game from Cam. I'll save you a little bit. I'll hold back a little bit on you. But boy, did he look terrible. And boy, did that make my day.
Anyone in the world that plays for the Panthers look terrible.
Oh God, it just made me so happy that Cam came out because of the homers that I know, the Cam homers, him coming out. I mean, he completed 5 passes to the Panthers, 2 to the Dolphins. Not good.
Jeez, Matt. Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy.
I don't know, dude.
Take it easy. Look at the one above that.
I see it. Not a great game for the Panthers, but let's get to the real point.
Cam is literally the worst. That's the only reason why people are here. It's for Cam bashing, and I'm not going to have it. All right?
Well, no.
Cam Newton, to be fair, he hadn't played in a year. Our offensive line is worse than the Dolphins' offensive line. Literally, we had a guy get graded as a 0, Remy, this week.
Oh, I know.
He got a 0 grade.
I saw.
They're terrible.
But let's talk about the real reason of this. Is just because y'all ran into this buzzsaw. This juggernaut.
I will say the defense for the Dolphins they've took a turn since the head coach has started to call the plays again. Y'all kind of reverted back to y'all's old defensive ways, looking really good. And you play complimentary football in the fact that if your defense plays well, then Tua, he had himself a hell of a game. He only threw 4 incompletions, 27-31. I can't wait for him to leave the Dolphins because it's gonna happen. He looked really good.
I think now's a good time.
Jalen Waddle looked really good.
Waddle's 5th in the NFL in receptions, by the way, in the entire league. Not rookies, the entire league. He's looked very good. But I figure now's a good time since we're on the topic. It's the holiday season, and I have a gift for you and everyone else in the stream. This is just me giving back and bringing joy and just goodness into the world. So I'm gonna step off camera for a few. I'm gonna step off camera for a few seconds. I'm not even
worried, dude. Who even tries?
It's
sad.
Who even tries? It's a regular season game.
It's a regular season game.
Give me a few seconds. I'm gonna step off camera. Right. I'll be back in just a moment, and I promise it's worth it.
I have no clue what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen. So hang in there with us. This is live TV for you. So we have no clue what's happening. It sounds like he's unwrapping something. But yeah, so the Dolphins pretty much wrecked us. I mean, I wish we'd have live streamed the game of us watching it, reacting to it live. Because if I had been in the same room with Remy, me and him probably would have fought each other. But Carolina sucked something serious the entire football game. The Dolphins literally gave us 3 points right before halftime, and that didn't help at all. Christian McCaffrey is made of glass. We have so much money locked up with him, and he's played like 4 football games in 2 years, which don't get me wrong, when he plays, we win most of the time if he stays healthy. But the problem is you don't want to pay running backs. What can I say? I don't know. I'm just sad. The Panthers are sad.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Boom!
Oh!
Boom!
Whoa! What a headband!
What is this?
A new headband reveal?
What?
I don't
know. For the
masses. Look at the different color that your new color is now compared to your old color.
I mean, yeah, no, it's terrible. But boom!
Boom!
That's my quarterback.
Remy, I'm happy for you. I am. I'm not even mad. I'm not even worried, dude.
That's my quarterback, baby.
Because I'm not even worried because I know the Dolphins, you finally have something good in the world and y'all are going to throw it away.
But for this week, I have happiness. This was my Super Bowl.
Until he leaves.
This was my Super Bowl.
This is your Super Bowl?
Well, I mean it's the closest I'm ever going to get, so.
Alan hates Cam Newton. I mean, I get it, Alan. You're an Eagles fan, so we'll get to them in a minute. But yeah, so congratulations, Remy. Tua was out there dipping, dotting. He ran the slant route to Jalen Waddle. We couldn't stop him.
He has been playing very good football. I'm not going to go over all the stats. He's top 10 in QBR on the season. I mean, it is what it is. Just, compare his stats to the likes of Kyler Murray and all these other people, and they're just as good, if not better. So it is what it is. I mean, QB1, baby.
And he got benched for Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, no. Broken finger. He's out there doing that with a broken finger still.
He got benched for Jacoby Brissett.
Nah. We're playing the long con, dude.
We move on to the Steelers-Bengals. This was a bit of a laugher. Bengals beat the Steelers 41-10, and dude, it's fucking sad, bro. Big Ben, it's scary hours in Pittsburgh right now because you watch Big Ben play football.
This has got to be the end, dude. It just has to be. There's just certain plays where he looks like he shouldn't be out there.
Yeah, dude. He looks like he should be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
There's some plays where you're literally laughing out loud at a grown man looking like he's a clown.
Yeah. I feel bad. I mean,
they still throw it 40 times a game with
it. Doesn't help that they do that, but they have to. They can't run block to save their lives. Their run game is atrocious right now. Mm-hmm. So they have to rely on old Big Ben out there throwing it around 40 plus times a game. They are a laugh riot. I hate it because Ben Roethlisberger is one of the best quarterbacks of his generation. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that this isn't how people remember him. Or as, the other bad things that he's done in his past. But he was a great quarterback for a long time. So
you don't want to be caught in the bathroom in the same restaurant.
No, you don't want to be in the bathroom with him, that's for sure. But he was a great quarterback, and it's just seeing the downfall.
Najee Harris, 8 rushes, 23 yards. He's too good for that terrible run game. Joe Burrow, dude, he is amazing. I love Joe Burrow. He throws the deep ball like nobody's business. He has the most 30-plus yard touchdowns in the league by a lot.
Also my guy.
T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they're just loaded on offense, on the wide receiving. So Matt asked a question. He says, who replaces Big Ben in free agency or draft? I don't know, man.
This, I think, is going to be this offseason is going to be a chance for a couple of teams to snag some elite quarterbacks, because I have a feeling I once the Packers lose in the playoffs, and they will lose in the playoffs, I think Aaron Rodgers is out of there.
It's going to be a Panther.
Sure. Tell yourself that. I think that this is the end of Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Bro, dude, we'll get to that. Russell Wilson is a shade of himself. He has no confidence in himself anymore. He looks terrible.
Not right now, for sure. Matt just brought up a good point. Deshaun Watson's going to be out there available for somebody to make a move. You are going to have some massive quarterback changes. Bro, damn. Stop. Bro, stop.
Tua to the Panthers. Let's go ahead and get that train moving.
Bro, Panthers team owner Tua Tagovailoa is not changing teams. He's going to be a Dolphin, baby. No, it is going to be a wild offseason for like big name quarterbacks coming. But Pittsburgh's their cap situation's not good. It's going to be tough, and I don't like this year's draft class for quarterbacks. It is not a great draft class, and the Steelers are still so meaty, like in the middle of things.
Go Tigers. Facts.
Well,
we'll talk about them in a little bit.
I don't think there's like in the middle of the first round, I don't think there's going to be a great quarterback to take. So they're going to have to try and hit it big with one of these like older guys, like an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or they're just going to have to go a year without a quarterback and say, fuck it, we'll be bad for a year and try and get one next year.
Yeah, the problem is they're not in like the roster to go ahead and start tanking, because their roster is, have a good wide receiving core, they have a good running back.
Their defense is good.
It's just weird. It's just very it's like two things pulling apart from each other, I don't know. So we go down, good football game. The Bucs ended up beating the Colts 38-31. In that one, Carson Wentz played well. Leonard Fournette scored 3 touchdowns. Gronk had a Gronk game, OG Gronk game. Big win for the Bucs. Heartbreaker for the Colts, because they're starting to play more and more like a playoff team. If you watch them play, they play in complementary football. They have a really good run game. Carson Wentz is actually surprisingly better than I thought he was going to be, which they better hope to God they make the playoffs, because they're about to lose that pick. But I mean,
first round pick gone. I mean, he's looked a lot better. Compared to last year, when I think he was arguably the worst quarterback in the league, he looks a lot better than he did then. He's still every now and then
touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
No, that's pretty solid. The issue is when he makes the mistakes, they're massive.
They're game changing mistakes is the problem.
But Jonathan Taylor to me is
a monster,
bro. The things he's done this season, leads the league in rushing, touchdowns, the whole 9, bro. That dude is a freak.
He reminds me of him back in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
where he's just running free and doing crazy, scoring 30 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember how many touchdowns he was scoring in Wisconsin? And you're like, dude, stupid. He's a system running back.
And what's wild to me is, like, if you look at it statistically,
Derek Freeman. Breaking news here. We'll do some Googling here. Marcus Freeman.
Google, who the hell is Marcus Freeman?
Report. Marcus Freeman will be named the next head coach of Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman, I think he's already on the staff. Athletic entertaining Tommy Reese. Marcus Freeman. Yeah, they're promoting him to head coach.
Interesting.
I think he was like a defense coordinator or something.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, so they're promoting from within. We got a lot of college stuff to go over, so we're going to kind of breeze through. Hell of a coach. He said, yeah, he looks, I mean, apparently he must be. So we're going to kind of breeze through this NFL stuff, because we have a lot of coaching carousel stuff going on. Just a lot of hilarious shit going on Twitter. We got to talk some South Carolina Clemson. We sadly have to talk about that. So, yeah, let's just get through these games real quick. Titans, Patriots. Patriots whipped the Titans' ass. The Patriots are for real, apparently. Their coaching staff turns out can coach some ball. They won 36-13. Mac Jones is, I just knew he was just so much further along as a college quarterback coming out. I mean, he's a fourth-year senior. He's just polished. He looked very polished, and he stepped up to the plate, and he's been performing pretty well.
It's the perfect fit. We talked about it when he was drafted there. It was like all the puzzle pieces fell in place for New England. Of course, Mac Jones falls. They don't have to trade up. They don't have to give up any extra capital to get him. He just falls in their lap, and he's the prototypical Belichick guy. And I can't believe we sat here and argued at the beginning of the year on how he won that job over Cam Newton. It's pretty obvious how he won the job over Cam Newton. I mean, no, listen.
Hey, low blow, man.
But that's
low blow. We're throwing Cam back in this.
That's not as much of a shitting on Cam thing.
I'm out of here.
This is more so.
Take it easy.
Who's the better fit for the New England Patriots? Cam Newton or Mac Jones?
Well, clearly
it's Mac Jones. Like, people were losing their shit. They're like, oh, I can't believe they cut Cam. Well, clearly they cut Cam for a reason. Mac Jones is a good football player, and he plays for the best coach in the league.
He's like 27 already. He's like he's already old dude back there. He's not really, but he plays like it.
Wise beyond his years.
Eagles Giants. Giants won 13-7. A lot of hype coming out this past week that the Eagles are going to make a push. Was going to be a wild card team. Then they lose to the Giants 13-7.
Bad game.
Bad game. Just a terrible football game in general. Just not good. Not a good look for the Eagles, for Alan Goodman-led Eagles. Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks, looked terrible. It was just a very weird game.
Not a great game for Hurts.
Weird, I mean, just bad.
Step backwards for Hurts for sure.
Both bad teams. Yeah, Jalen Reagor has bricks for hands. Tough day for him.
I saw a video online today. It said it was a video of Devonta Smith and Jalen Reagor catching passes, and it was just Devonta Smith catching throwing the ball in the trash can.
Yeah, putting the footballs in the trash can.
Brutal.
The Falcons beat the Jaguars. The Falcons are in the playoff hunt, dude.
That's disgusting.
Dude, that is disgusting.
That's disgusting. That team's so bad.
Can we get some MVP hype for Cordell Patterson?
He
is, dude. I mean, what he's doing.
Bro, did you see the thing today? He's the 3rd safety on the depth chart right now. He says he wants a pick. He wants to get an interception.
The man loves playing football. I respect it. South Carolina native. I love it.
Also, just not a good football player for the past 8 years, and now all of a sudden he's a game changer. It's weird.
I think he's a grinder. He's just a guy that shows up, and he's like there every day.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that, to be honest. I remember when he came out of college, out of Tennessee, and he was a first-round pick and all that stuff, and there was all that hype around him, and then he just never was much more than a kick returner. And now all of a sudden he's one of the best players in the league. It's weird.
It's weird. Jets won a football game. It was the Suck It Bowl. Jets versus the Texans. Texans are terrible. Jets are terrible. Jets just didn't get a better pick out of this game.
Zach Wilson.
Dude, the Jets, by the way, they have Seattle's pick.
Oh,
it's 3-8, and they're also 3-8. They're gonna have 2 high picks.
What was
I said the Jets.
I said this out earlier today. What was the? Hold on, I got it. If the season ended right now, the top 10 looks like, I got a picture of it. Top 10 goes Lions, Texans, Jaguars, Jets, Giants, Eagles, Panthers. What? Wow. Lions, Texans, Jaguars, Jets, Giants, Eagles, Panthers. Top 10 draft picks.
So 3 teams with 6 picks.
Yep, 3 teams with 6 picks in the top 10.
Right. Somebody's getting better. Good for the Eagles.
Maybe. The Jets won't, because the
suck. Jets will fuck it up. They'll fuck
bad.
It up. Broncos, Chargers, as one does in this division. Broncos beat the Chargers by 15 points.
Are the Broncos good?
No. And are the Chargers good?
Also, no. Like, I don't get it. They should be good.
They should be.
They're just not.
I just close my eyes, and it's hard to imagine Justin Herbert losing football games.
I could show you the stats between him and Tua right now.
No.
Right now.
I don't want to see those
over
stats.
the past 6
My
games.
eyes have told me how good Justin Herbert is.
Oh yeah, because he looks good. He looks good in shorts.
Tua got benched for Jacoby Brissett.
It's a broken finger.
No, he's broken heart.
It
was a broken heart.
Yeah, mine. Mine was the broken heart. I don't know what the Chargers, man. Like if you just sat there and you looked at their roster and you look at the Broncos roster, you're like, one of these teams is better than the other one.
Except a whiteboard here, by the way. Sorry to cut you off. I was just thinking about it.
You're gonna put a whiteboard, dude. Just write
down.
And
I'm gonna put how my bet of. I said that Latavius Murray would have more rushing yards than Jeremy Hill in his career.
That is not what you said.
And that was $20 bet.
That was not what you said. That was
dating
the opposite.
back.
We're gonna flip that. You just lied to the fans.
Nope.
You just blatantly lied to the fans. Your bet was Jeremy Hill better career than Latavius Murray, and I'm pretty sure Jeremy Hill was out of the league the next year.
I think Jeremy Hill still has a chance. What is? I'm gonna Google Jeremy Hill. What is
he was in training camp this year. He's been out of the league for like 4 years.
It's a weird stance you're taking on Jeremy Hill.
That was your boy.
He's a young guy still. He's
28.
He's 29.
29. Running backs, they do tend to last a very long time. They play well into their 30s.
So he has 2,898 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at Latavius Murray.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's more.
Latavius Murray has 5,203, barely.
So barely edged him out.
And that's sad. Latavius Murray's out here trying. That's sad.
One of them's still playing.
That's sad.
It is. I mean, it is. Just give it up, Latavius.
Just give it up, dude.
5,000 yards in your career? What are you, average as hell?
Just give it up, man. Give it up. Let me go ahead and win my $20, and Remy can go on about his life.
The people know who made the right bet here. I think the people know.
I bet Latavius Murray. You bet Jeremy Hill.
That's not how that went down.
Listen, when I put it on the board, it's on the board forever, Remy, and they can never take that back.
Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. All right, we're going to the next game. Sorry, we're just rambling on over here. Rams, Packers.
Terry likes giving me his money.
No. First off, no. Second off, Packers beat the Rams. Rams on a slide. Aaron Rodgers has a broken toe or something, right?
Yeah.
And
poor little toe.
Poor little toe. I don't know. Both these teams are good.
How are you feeling about the Rams right now?
I'm fine.
You?
No, I'm not even worried.
You're fine?
I'm not even worried, dude.
Not the slightest bit.
They're a playoff team. This is the regular season.
Not the slightest bit.
Who tries?
Matt Stafford the last couple of weeks has put on that Lions jersey a couple too many times.
He has. He has made a couple bad throws. He also has made some good throws. COVID toe.
I mean, he's got one of the best
49ers, Vikings. The 49ers beat the Vikings. The 49ers are back, and the Vikings are still in it. Kirk Cousins has actually played really well this year.
Really well. But no one cares.
No one cares. They'll just remember him lining up under the guard, and they had to call a timeout on 4th and goal. But also, Deebo Samuel's now more of a running back than a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's the new Cordell Patterson.
They just give him the ball. I mean,
as they should. He's out 1 to 2 weeks, though.
Is he?
Pulled groin. Will miss 1 to 2 weeks.
That's their offense. So
That's their offense.
Elijah Mitchell, he had a really good game. And, of course, we end it with the Brown. No, we don't end it. The Browns-Ravens was the Sunday night game.
Ugh.
Which, I mean, atrocious game.
I watched this game. Like I said it earlier. No lie. In a 3-minute and 20-something second span of football, there were 5 turnovers in an NFL game. It was just like, no, I don't want it. You take it. No, you take it. No, you know what? You can have it back. Lamar Jackson threw interceptions on 3 straight possessions. Back-to-back-to-back possessions, interceptions.
And the Browns couldn't do anything.
And the Browns couldn't do shit. They just kept giving them the ball back to start with. They said, no, please, you need this. And the game ended, 16-10? It was disgusting. The game was terrible. The Browns suck.
Facts.
I was hyped on the Browns. That defense was supposed to be so good.
They're
they
done.
are trash.
That's why I can't believe
aren't even that good.
That's why I can't believe in the 8-3 Ravens.
They threw 4 interceptions, won a game 16-10. That's why they're not in my top 5.
Washington came back and beat Seattle. Actually, at home, 17-15. Big win for Washington. They're still hanging around the wild card, and it's time for Seattle to give it up. It's time to blow it up in Seattle.
They're done. They are shot. So my takeaway from this game was I think we talked about this last podcast, but we get to talk about it again. Jamal Adams has now surpassed Vince Wilfork in career interceptions. He's done it. He tied him. He tied him. He had another interception this week.
No way.
He had it was a tip ball. He
had the tip up ball.
It was a tip ball. It bounced all the way up in the air, and he almost still dropped it. But they were talking about it in the broadcast. They were like, this might come as a surprise to some of you, but this is the first season of his career where he's had more than one interception. And I said, no shit, because he came into the season with 2 career interceptions. So, yeah, shockingly, this is the first year he's had more than one.
You know what's more shocking than that? Is the OG Blitz boy has 0 sacks on the year.
No sacks on the year. And 2 interceptions. He's a safety this year? No. He also needs to be released because they gave
that contract is terrible.
They gave him so much money. They gave him so much money. They gave up 2 first-round picks to get him. And they're bad. They're a bad team.
Who gives up first-round picks for a safety, bro?
For a safety, bro. And not like a safety that goes and gets the ball. Weird.
Blitz boy.
Weird.
South Carolina basketball is about 20 right now to Coastal.
It's great. It was like a 5-point game last I looked at it.
Yep. Now we're losing by 20. I was watching it before we went live. Not good there. But yeah, so weird week of weird week of college football too. Weird week of pro football.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck the Dolphins. All right.
Matt, I see your question that you just posted on there. I honestly think that Pete Carroll retires. He's old.
He's like how old? It's like 70 something, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the oldest coach in the NFL. He's very old.
Carroll.
I think he retires.
He's 70.
I think he just calls it. But I could be wrong.
Also 3 hours ago, the Seahawks signed Adrian Peterson to their practice squad.
They did. They are
Adrian Peterson. What are you doing, buddy? Just stop.
Bro, I wanted him to be good for the Titans, and he just wasn't.
He just was not any
He's
good.
Just 35
So we're going
to
switch gears and go to college football.
Do we have to?
We have to. And we'll go ahead and start with the game that some Clemson fans are here for. Listen, I'm glad y'all won. Who even tries?
Who tries?
It's sad.
It was a regular season game.
I will say, a lot of Carolina fans are hyped up. I don't know why they were hyped up.
Idiots.
If they haven't watched any of our football games, every one of those games feels like, remember when Muschamp came in and won like those 7 or 8 ball games and beat Michigan? It was like, we would look up and be like, how did we just win that football game?
This was ugly.
This was ugly. South Carolina sucks. We haven't scored on Clemson in years, multiple years, because we didn't score. Last time we played them, we lost 45-0. Then we had the year off.
No, this was our first time being shut out in 32 years. But
are you sure?
They brought it up because we could have kicked the field goal at the end. But we have the last 2 years been out. We've scored 3 points in the last 2 games against them.
Okay.
So it's not been a good stretch.
Okay. 3 points. Sorry. There's a couple things I learned from this football game. And overall, the talent is pretty big still.
Drastically different.
Drastically big. DJ Ukulele is garbage.
He is.
My man
good.
Is slow and hot ass. And if what happens and Clemson comes true, and if the defensive coordinator for Clemson takes the head coaching job for Oklahoma, there's a lot of buzz that Clemson's going to lose a lot of football players. Brent Venables, please get Brent Venables out of Clemson.
Please leave.
Please. How long have we been waiting on this to happen? How has he not been considered for another job?
He has been. He doesn't want it. To this day, I cannot understand. That mentality of him just being okay being a defensive coordinator. You know you're the hottest name out there. All these teams would try. Bro, I know for a fact people are out there offering him the head coaching jobs, and he's like, no, I want to be a defensive coordinator. And I got Caleb's probably going to jump in here and talk about how much money he makes as a defensive coordinator. That's not how coaching mentality works. Nobody wants to be nobody's aspiration is
Foster mentality.
Yeah, and Bud Foster was nowhere near what Brent Venables is. There's no way that he's just satisfied being the defensive coordinator for one of the best teams in the country.
Right.
Every coach's dream is to be the head coach of a championship winning team. I mean, dude, please get out of there. Make my life
I will say,
enjoyable.
Will Shipley, Clemson has a good one in Will Shipley. He reminds me a lot of he's not like as quick as McCaffrey, but he's a grinder, and I like him a lot.
My take on it is exactly kind of like what you were mentioning. Carolina fans got a little too hyped up. We beat some teams that we shouldn't have beat, just being what it is. I mean, clearly Auburn has two different teams. The one that played us and the one that played Alabama was not the same team. We won a couple of games, but I mean, I knew going into the Clemson game, the talent difference between Clemson and South Carolina is still so drastic. Literally, Clemson plays a bunch of five-star players all across the board. South Carolina's starting quarterback is a senior transfer.
They played in front of 3,000 fans.
Their backup quarterback is an assistant coach. Their number 2 wide receiver is also a transfer from the same school. We are drastically worse than them talent-wise. Now, the regular season is over, and I've said it before. I projected 4 wins. We got 6. We're going bowling. We have exceeded expectations in my mind. I couldn't be happier.
It's almost a miracle.
But the fact that we had
miracle on ice level shit.
We had fans that were like, yeah, we're going to beat Clemson. No, the hell we're not. They're still so much better than us. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, and good for Clemson. They won a game they were supposed to. Dabby Sweeney's a spineless bastard who went for it on 4th and 5 with 2 minutes to go, up 23-0, trying to make it look better. Listen, Dabo, you need to worry about your team because that team ain't that good. Let's forget it. Let's take South Carolina out of it. South Carolina's pathetic. They have one of the worst offenses in the world. Literally, we would be dead last in every offensive category in any conference in the world. It's pathetic how bad we are on offense. Don't worry about us. Worry about how you got all these 5-star guys, all these guys hitting the transfer portal, all your coaches trying to leave. You need to worry about your team and quit being a little punk. Everybody thinks he's like some awesome dude. He's been rubbing it in our faces for a while. And one thing is true in life, karma comes around. One day, Clemson will not be Clemson that they are because ebbs and flows. They're not going to be the best team in the world every year. And one day, South Carolina's not going to be a doormat every year. That's just how life works. It's just it sucks because I sit here, I'm like, dude, you don't have to tell me how bad South Carolina is. I have to sit here and watch it. I watch it every game. I have eyes. I'll tell you exactly. Congratulations. You beat one of the worst offensive coach teams in the history of South Carolina. I'm happy for y'all. I truly am. Look right at the camera. I'm truly happy for Clemson fans everywhere. Y'all did it. Because if you somehow lost to this team, that would be the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life. Look what happened to Auburn. Auburn fired their offensive coordinator because they lost to South Carolina.
Who was their offensive coordinator?
Mike Bobo got fired.
Can we stop giving Mike Bobo jobs? He sucks.
No, Mike Bobo is 1,000 times better than what we put out on the field this past year.
Not disagreeing with you, but he's still terrible.
He's not good.
Mike Bobo sucks. And he got fired again. Get out of here, Bobo. You're trash.
Well, good on Clemson. They won. They're not playing in their shitty little conference championship anymore, though. Suck one. And South Carolina sucks. I mean, what do you want me to say?
We're going bowling, dude. We're going bowling, baby. We're the best. But
can never be as bad as Chad Morris here at Arkansas, dude. I'm telling you right now with a straight face, Matt. I know you haven't watched so many South Carolina games. It's literally, it's like it's worse than high school. level offense. It's like B team and JV shit. It is sad. It's not even like funny bad. It's sad. We get the ball on the we had the ball on the 37-yard line, and it's a running joke that everybody's saying we should go ahead and kick the field goal before we get out of field goal range. What do? We lose 4 yards, 4th and 12. Zeb Nolan scrambling for his life and throws a check down at a guy's feet running a 2-yard crossing route. I mean, you can't make this shit up, dude. And that
it was bad.
I don't want to get.
It's been bad.
It's hard to fucking get mad about South Carolina because we are pathetic. What Clayton White did, by the way, on defense, their defense, they play the entire game because their offense comes out, loses 5 yards and punts, so they have to play literally the entire football game. Our defense is riddled with good football players on the defensive line. Our linebacking core is a joke. We literally play with a 2-star Staley who shouldn't even be playing this level of football, and the other linebacker was a bum defensive end who was never good in Brad Johnson. And then look at our corner. We have one good corner. Our other corner is Rush, who was literally the lowest rated recruit in his class, and he was a wide receiver. And he's our other corner. We got to flip the talent. It's going to be a long battle. I get it. You know what's crazy is, though? In college football landscape, there's never been a time where you could go from being pathetic to really good as it is right now.
Yeah,
you can go in and get all the transfers you want, transfer portal it up, and it'll completely change the outlook of your team.
Yeah, now we basically have free agency in the NCAA. It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
that was some passion, bud. You good?
I'm good.
You got heated.
Yeah, because
we won 6 games, bro. I was happy.
I would tell you this. I would rather turn on the game and look like a competent fucking football team and not some sad sack organization than not win 6 ball games. Than us having to sit here and we run the ball for no yards. Our pulling guards tackle our running backs half the time. Our wide receivers make I only have one play, and that's throw it to Josh Van. Find 6. He's been playing, by the way, on a pulled hamstring all year, and he's that much better than anybody else on our team. And we're talking about Josh Van. I'm getting hyped over Josh Van, who was a laugh riot and who led the NCAA and drops his career. Paulo's getting fired up. We're getting fired up, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, the passion, bro. I love it.
Sorry. I'm just so tired of losing to Clemson, man. It's tired
been a
of
long
it.
time. So my question is, because it was the first shutout since 1989.
Bro, we did not look like we were going to score a point.
We had a chance at the end there. Now, I
throw the ball in the end zone. Zeb Nolan running around.
I said kick the field goal. At the end of the day, none of it mattered. Touchdown doesn't matter. Field goal doesn't matter. But first time being shut out in 32 years, bro, just give me the points. Don't add to that. Don't rehash that stat. I wanted the field goal. I wanted the field goal, bro.
I said kick the field goal too. But that's where we are in our lives. Where we're wanting a field goal.
We're begging to not get shut out. Clemson beat our ass, bro.
All right, there it is, Clemson fans. I hope you're happy. There was your review of a terrible football game, and I watched every play of it. So congratulations. Georgia beat the shit out of Georgia Tech, 45-0.
Did you see the picture of the stadium? How many Georgia fans were in that stadium?
Yeah.
It was red. The stands were red. Weird.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech football is terrible. Ohio State, Michigan. Michigan ran all over them. They did it for the people. Thank you, Michigan. You beat Ohio State. Ohio State's the most fucking bum-ass team I've ever seen in my life. They got run over by Oregon. Remember that happened. And then they play a bunch of teams they hype up and rank high so they would get higher rankings. And then Michigan in the snow literally just handed the ball off and ran up and down the field.
Thank God. I'm not a big Michigan guy.
We're gonna get the coaching carousel here in a minute. We're just kind of hitting the high notes of the thing, and then
rivalry week. I'm not the biggest Michigan guy, but the hell with Ohio State. I hate Ohio State.
The hell with Ohio State. Alabama, Auburn. It was a terrible football game there for a while. Auburn apparently doesn't have a backup quarterback. Their dude limped around the entire football game. He fucked his ankle up. But Auburn ended up blowing this game. They're winning 10-0 going into the fourth quarter. Alabama comes back. Auburn gets the ball. The running back, Tank Bigsby, runs out of bounds. Gives them 40 seconds on the clock because they would have got the ball back with a minute left instead of minute 40. Alabama comes down, ties it up, sends it to overtime. It was back and forth in overtime, and then it was the stupid 2-point overtime, which I do not like.
How much do you hate that?
It is so stupid. Why can't we just keep putting the ball at 25 and let them play?
Yeah. Why? Why do we have to go for twos? I hate it so much. Dude, I know what they're trying to do. They're like, player safety, because we had that one, 8 overtime or 7 overtime game a couple years ago. And I'm going to be real honest, I'm all for player safety, but that is arguably one of the greatest college football games ever played. Was a regular season game that went to a 7 overtime. It was the most insane thing to sit there and watch that game. Right. As a fan of football, as a fan of watching the game, that's the shit that I want. I don't want to see people line up to do 2-point conversions over and over.
By the way, teams don't have that many 2-point conversions. Plays. They don't. And the ball's not even on the 2-yard line anymore. It's on the 3.
It's so stupid. I hate the rule. I wish football could just figure out overtime. I wish between the NCAA and the NFL, they both get it wrong. They're both wrong with their overtime rules. Can we get a universal, decent rule for overtime? They both suck. I hate both of them. Can we just fix overtime, please?
Dude, overtime was good in the NCAA. I liked it. I thought it was all right.
I was fine with that. And I never had issues.
Now we got to do the 2-point conversion bullshit.
It sucks.
Notre Dame beat Stanford. The funniest story is Notre Dame lost their head coach, which we'll talk about in a little bit. They literally could be in the playoffs.
They might be in the playoffs.
They literally might be in the playoffs.
Without their head coach.
With some shit going down, they could easily be in the playoffs. Oklahoma cheesing it against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State tried to blow the game multiple times, but they beat Oklahoma. Now they're in a prime spot. If somebody falls out, they can slide in, but that requires Oklahoma State to beat Baylor, which I don't know if that'll happen. Both Baylor's a good ass football team, so we'll see about that. Oklahoma's sad. Oklahoma's sad. Like they can't beat Baylor and Oklahoma State, and that got their head coach, little bitch boy, Lincoln Riley, who's not a good person, to leave. By the way, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for leaving Oklahoma. He's scared about the SEC, is what the report was. But he went to Southern Cal. Nobody cares about college football out here. Southern Cal does not have. No one. Southern Cal, how far they've fallen from. Remember back when, how good they were forever, every year.
I remember.
Dude, they literally fill out 20,000 fans go to their games.
Yeah,
it is bad.
Tough times at Oklahoma. I mean, I knocked the decision back when they made it about them and Texas joining the SEC. Texas especially, I knocked us. Texas hasn't been good in the Big 12 for a while. At least not as good as they should be. Now they're going to go join the better conference. Now Oklahoma comes out and lays what is definitely a disappointing season out there this year and loses their head coach and is now going to come to the SEC. It's interesting. I mean, I get how much money talks. I understand money talks. But you're talking about taking 2 of the elite programs, especially with the Big 12, putting them in the SEC, where it's looking like they're going to be middle of the pack SEC teams. So all that playoff money, all that shit you could have got for winning conference championships, see ya. Out the door.
See ya. Michigan State unbeaten Penn State. Bad year for Penn State, even though they re-signed their head coach to a mega monster giant
10-year deal.
Yeah, crazy deal. BYU went to Southern Cal. Southern Cal's not going bowling, by the way. Hilarious. BYU won 35-31.
Oof.
Wisconsin, they've just when you thought they were back, they had to beat Minnesota to go to the championship. They lost to Minnesota. Texas A&M, most average 8-4 hyped up team I've ever seen in my life. They lost to LSU in LSU's last game with Coach O.
Coach O.
They have a bowl game, of course, because they're 6-6 now. They clutched up. Pittsburgh's 10-2. What?
What?
Wait, what? They won 31-14. Wake Forest is 10-2. They won 41-10.
Wait, what?
I'll take Wake Forest as offense coordinator, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Yes. No shit. I think they scored more in one game than we did all season.
University of Texas San Antonio finally lost the football game. They lost to North Texas.
That's the most well. I mean, that's my old squad, dude. North Texas, baby.
North Texas. That's
my team.
NCAA.
That's my squad.
And then Houston beat UConn. UConn's pathetic. They should probably just
Houston, 11-1.
11-1. UConn should dissolve their football team.
It's very bad.
It's very bad. Of course, we had the Thursday game, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Ole Miss, 10-2.
What a year.
What
a year.
If I was, what's his name for Ole Miss, I'd get up out of there. Because his name's buzzing. His name's buzzing.
I mean, it's been buzzing.
And he's about to lose his Heisman quarterback and all that shit. I don't know. Cincinnati beat East Carolina. Cincinnati's finally in the top 4. I think they're one of the best teams in the country.
Let's get it. Please.
Iowa beat Nebraska. When's the last time Nebraska made a bowl game? They're 3-9. Brasky, man.
Brasky, man.
Utah and Colorado. Utah beat Colorado. Colorado's also terrible. North Carolina lost to North Carolina State in a wild fashion.
Wild football game.
North Carolina started the year off a 10th ranked team. They're ending with the same exact record as the South Carolina Gamecocks. Suck win North Carolina.
I saw one projection had us playing them in the bowl game.
That'd be cool. We'd lose by a lot.
I mean, yeah, we'd get our ass kicked,
but San Diego State beat Boise State. And of course Arkansas. Dude, as bad as Arkansas has been, what a comeback.
It's a good year. I was telling Matt that earlier. I mean, that was I didn't think the expectation I didn't think the expectations were that high, but they had a good year. They beat some teams, some good teams. Their losses, they had one, I think, that was a pretty tough loss. I mean, it seems they lost to are good football teams. So good year for Arkansas. I mean, I have no quarrels with Arkansas. They used to smoke us whenever. I'll never forget the days of Ryan Mallett just absolutely torching us.
They gave Alabama a game.
Mm-hmm.
Good year. Lost by a point to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
In a 52-51 game that was crazy. They did get shit on by Georgia, but I mean, who didn't? But they did lose to Auburn, which is a tough one.
Auburn almost beat Alabama. Maybe that was the Auburn.
Maybe that was the Auburn. Yeah.
They brought in the real players.
Because, I mean, you look, dude, they beat Texas A&M. First off, South Carolina hasn't beat Texas A&M in ever. So good on you for that. Mississippi State was ranked. They beat LSU. Missouri, which South Carolina didn't beat. I mean, good year. Just a great year. Let's see how about the old Texas Longhorns, by the way? End of the season 5-7. They lost. They ended up beating Kansas State at the end, 22-17, but they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
They fired Tom Herman for losing 3.
They lost 6 games in a row. They lost after the Oklahoma loss was a big loss. When they lost in the way they did when they were up by a bazillion, that game was tough. Then they go on and lose to Oklahoma State, and they had a tough run in Baylor. Baylor's a good football team. They lost to Baylor. Then they get thumped by Iowa State. Then they lose at home to Kansas.
That's the one.
Then they lose to West Virginia. You can't lose to Kansas.
You don't lose to Kansas. But I mean, no. You don't lose to any of those teams. You're Texas.
Yeah.
You're Texas. You have your own fucking TV station.
Yeah.
You're Texas. You should win those games. I'm sorry. Like that, it's inexcusable. The resources and everything they put into that football program.
They finished seventh in the Big 12.
You should win every one of those football games. I'll give you a pass for Oklahoma. I'll give you that one. You should win every other one of those football games, and you lost to Kansas. You lost to Kansas. It's unacceptable. What?
Kansas lost to Coastal.
Kansas is maybe the worst college football program in the country.
What up, Mr. Tracy?
Maybe.
Yeah, dude, their only other win was against South Dakota and barely, and that's a D2 team.
I mean, bro? When's the last time Kansas went 500 in football?
I think they said this was like their first conference win in 3 years or something.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm about to look up when the last time Kansas football finished above 500 in the season.
How you let Kansas score 57 points? 57.
You don't play defense.
Yeah, you literally olaying a defense. But yeah, so Texas, you gotta do better, man. You got way too much money to be that bad.
Holy
I don't know.
Shit.
Dude, what's going on with Kansas's football team?
The last time that Kansas finished over 500 was 2008.
2008. Caleb said it right there.
13 years since they finished above 500. Last year they went 0-9. This year 2-10. Oof. They beat Texas though,
dude. So. Imagine a Kansas fan beating Texas. Like that was their Super Bowl. That was their national championship.
Yeah.
Well, Texas had 5-star recruits in the stands laughing, recording it.
Hilarious.
Jesus
Christ. I didn't realize. Did you know that in 2007 Kansas went 12-1 in football?
Yeah. Yeah, they were nasty, dude. They had the little lefty quarterback. It was them in Missouri.
Wait,
when Missouri had what's his name? The little pudgy quarterback that still gets backup jobs all across the NFL. Daniels or whatever.
Ooh.
Chase Daniels.
Quarterback for Kansas that year, 33 touchdowns to 7 picks.
His name was nice Reese or something.
Todd Reesing.
That's it, dude. They were nice that year. And then the shit went south whenever their coach got found out for like verbally abusing and being a racist and shit, which is fucked up. But he was a hell of a football coach. Which, I mean, if you can win all those games at Kansas.
Did that Kansas team had Aqib Talib and Chris Harris on it? Mm-hmm. Is that the same Chris Harris? Did they rock those two corners? What? 12-1. Makes sense. But anyway, historically bad football team. Texas lost to that team this year. So, welcome to the SEC, Texas. You don't get a lot of Kansases out here. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll roll Vanderbilt. But
so now we talk some coaching carousel shit.
What
y'all kind of talked about? Oklahoma lost their head coach. Their head coach is now the head coach of Southern Cal. Southern Cal is paying him $95 million. They're buying his houses for $500,000 more than listing price, and they get to use the jet and all kind of crazy shit. They're buying a $6 million house out in LA. Good on him.
I mean, yeah, maybe. This is one of those things like I don't know what the money difference would be from California to Oklahoma. I know it's a lot more expensive to live life in Los Angeles, California than it is Norman, Oklahoma. But this just feels like one of those hires where it's like grass isn't always greener on the other side, bud. Like you had a good thing in Oklahoma. You made the playoff, I think pretty routinely.
And think about it. When he took over the head coaching job, I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and he had a lot of the Stoops guys at the the end that kind of boosted him up. Mm-hmm. And he also had back-to-back Heisman quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and they still didn't win a champion. You know what I mean? Like
Southern Cal isn't close to that right now. So he's going to have to build that program up from the ground up.
He has to build a culture, which I don't think he is. I don't think he's a culture guy.
I mean, yes. See,
Riley will win the Pac-12 in 3 years in the final 4-4. Caleb, get out. I don't believe that.
You're a big Lincoln Riley guy there,
big
Caleb?
Lincoln Riley guy. Oh yeah, we haven't heard. You went in the group text. The next guy we're talking about is Brian Kelly. Nobody cares about 5-star quarterback. DJ Ugalele is a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah,
he sucks. Brian Kelly. Caleb is an uber Brian Kelly fan. He is ride or die for Brian Kelly. Like, he was backing my man up hard in the group chat.
It's the same to me from LSU standpoint. I get it. Well, I kind of get it. I get why you had to let Coach O go. I don't like it. I don't like it at all because I love Coach O in LSU. I just think that's match made in heaven.
But Brian Kelly's also a sleazebag.
Coach O won a national championship and decided that chasing tail was just as important as chasing championships. So I get why they had to move on from him.
I think he's going to go back to being a good assistant coach.
Yeah, I do too. And I get the Brian Kelly hire is probably the best name that you can go out and get once Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley, by the way, pulling the old Nick Saban. My future is in Oklahoma. The next day, he's gone.
He's
gone. The next day.
They're throwing his shit out of a window.
Beautiful. Beautiful sell. I have no interest in the LSU job. None of you asked me about the Southern Cal job, however. Right. But it's another one of those things, like I get it from LSU's standpoint, but from Brian Kelly's standpoint, I look at it from you had a good thing in Notre Dame. You had a great thing in Notre Dame. You played an ACC schedule. I don't know what else you could have asked for. Right. But now you're coming to the SEC, and it's not going to be that easy. It's not. And I mean, I know he gets to go to a school that's going to give him every chance to succeed. The issue is in LSU is if you don't win a national championship, you're out. Like, that's the expectation there. They've had 3. I've talked about this to somebody the other day. I cannot believe that LSU in my lifetime has had 3 different coaches win a national championship, and none of them are the current head coach there. Could you imagine if the University of South Carolina won a national championship? You now own the city of Columbia if you're that head coach. Forever. It doesn't matter. We can be trash. It doesn't matter. But LSU has had 3 national championship head coaches, and none of them are the coach now. In my lifetime. This is not even like that long ago. Nick Saban was the head coach there. So we'll see. It's going to be a big challenge for Brian Kelly. It is like I said, for LSU, that's the guy to go get. So we'll see what he can do. And, that's what he's missing. Brian Kelly is a Hall of Fame head coach. He is just missing the national championship piece of the puzzle.
I mean, I get it. You leave for the money. They're paying him dumb money. So good on him. He made his players wake up for a 7 a.m. meeting that he talked into for 2 minutes. By the way, have you seen the video?
I haven't watched it yet, but I heard
there's a video like 7 minutes live. Long. It is hilarious. It's funny. He's a joke. Non-Baton Rouge operator. Why don't you put me on?
Who filled the Virginia Tech? That job got filled.
Did it?
Did it get filled? Or
I don't know.
Have they filled the Virginia Tech job?
Yeah, they did. Brent Pry, named Virginia Tech head football coach. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He was the Penn State D coordinator, if I'm not wrong.
Huh. Didn't know that.
So that job got filled. One less spot open out there. So now what we have left is, of course, we broke live right here on Hard Pass Sports, broke the Notre Dame hire. Thank you, Caleb. Now the big one that's out there is Oklahoma. I mean, who does Oklahoma take to get the job? Who is your choice to be the Oklahoma head coach moving forward? There's some names out there.
I think they end up going with the Clemson DC.
You think Venables leaves? Now, for years, us as Gamecock fans, we were told the Kansas State job was the job that would get Venables to leave, and it didn't work. So you think the Oklahoma job is the one that gets him out of there?
I think so.
So the two names that I would say to really keep an eye on is one, you touched on it, is Lane Kiffin. I think, like you said, him getting out of Ole Miss now that Matt Corral is going to be gone.
It'd be a good hire, I think.
It'd be a good hire. But the one I think is probably the more interesting, I think kind of more of a little bit of a long shot, but Josh Heupel, was a fantastic player at the University of Oklahoma, and has worked his way up to the head coaching ranks. So just another name to watch out there for. But I would say if I were Oklahoma and I want to make the splash, I'm looking at Lane Kiffin, trying to pull him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know Lane has no issues with just changing jobs. He does it all the damn time.
Also, Florida, of course, fired Dan Mullen. Everybody was really high on Dan Mullen a couple years ago and coming in. And
the beginning of this season, they were high on Dan Mullen. And then you lose to the University of South Carolina and you lose your job. That's what happens. You lose your job.
They hired Billy Napier, which I think is a good coach. I think that was a good hire for them. Good on Billy Napier. He turned down South Carolina and went back to Louisiana. Just wait. He's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna coach. I'm not. Calm down. I'm not gonna go join.
I've got a better deal here in Louisiana. So yeah, we'll see. That's a big step up. I mean, I think he could be good, or it could be another one of those just like Fuente at Virginia Tech. It's like smaller school guy, did a really good job.
Offered job. Okay, Caleb. Pretty much everything but offered the job. So far it's been a pretty wild.
So, but one thing, and you touched on this, there is still a possibility that Notre Dame makes the college football playoff. It is not out of the realm of possibility. Now, it's very unlikely.
Before we get out of here, I guess we'll go over what's going to happen next. So Oregon plays Utah. That game is irrelevant for the Pac-12 championship.
Doesn't matter.
That game doesn't matter. Baylor plays Oklahoma State. Now, this one does matter for a lot of reasons, because we'll see in a minute. Oklahoma State could slide in the top 4. And that's for the Big 12. Go down to Alabama, Georgia. If Georgia beats Alabama, they're out of it, which would bump up Oklahoma State. Also, Michigan could lose to Iowa.
Yes.
I'm not all sold on Michigan at all. Dude, Michigan and Alabama, 2 and 3 could both lose. And Oklahoma State could win or lose. Oklahoma State wins, they're in. That puts Notre Dame in.
Potentially.
Potentially,
Notre Dame is
easily
in the play.
Not like potentially. Like Alabama, if Georgia beats Alabama and Oklahoma State loses, Notre Dame's in.
There's a lot of push that Alabama would still get in as a 2-loss team. I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so.
But Notre Dame could get in without their head coach.
Let's not overlook the Cincinnati-Houston game.
Massive game. 11-1 versus 12-0.
Versus 12-0. Houston's not a bad football team. Cincy could lose. I think it's nothing settled. There's a lot of shit's going down.
All the way up to the last week of the year. I mean, the only team I think that is a lock is Georgia. They're the only lock. Like, no matter what happens.
The ACC championship game is between Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. And the winner of that game wins 11 football games.
That's the sexiest thing I think I've ever heard. Wake Forest, Pittsburgh for the ACC championship game.
So tickets as low as $30 for that game. If you want to go to the Michigan-Iowa game, tickets are $258. The Houston-Cincinnati game, tickets are $57. It's the bottom tier. Lowest ticket you can go to the SEC championship game is $400.
What you're saying is no one wants to go watch Pittsburgh play Wake Forest. I'm hype.
Number 10, Oregon at Utah in Las Vegas in that dope-ass stadium. Tickets are $20. That's Pac-12 football. I just want everyone to realize I live out here now. I live in it. I see it up close and personal. Nobody cares about college football out here in the West. Nobody. They don't even care about sports, dude. I'm serious. Like, they care about the teams back east. Most of the Cardinal fans are not even Cardinal fans.
Banner run out there in Arizona right now, though. You got the number one NBA team, the number one NFL team.
I will say that the Phoenix area loves their Suns. They're massive Sun supporters. Their tickets are pricey to go to. But everything else, I mean, I'd say the Cardinals, by the way, also did sell out. And they have a pretty big fan base. For rightfully so, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. And their atmosphere was college-esque. Like when I went to the game, it was really loud. But
who's your final four?
All right, no, we're gonna do. We're gonna actually go through these games. You're gonna pick them, and then we're gonna do the final four.
All
right. So Oregon, Utah.
Oregon.
I'm going Utah in an upset. I don't like Oregon's quarterback. Does not impress me. I'm going with the Utes. Baylor, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's had a good team this year. I'm pretty sure they beat Baylor once already.
Baylor has 2 losses. I'll tell you who their 2 losses are.
Pretty sure once
they lost 24-14 to Oklahoma State, and they lost to TCU 30-28.
Well, I mean, duh. Baylor wins it in an upset.
I think this is a classic game that Oklahoma State is probably going to lose, but I'm going to pick them because I like Oklahoma State. I've always liked Oklahoma State.
You're just doing the opposite of me, bro. Don't lie.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. I wish I had a whiteboard next to me. We'd write this shit down. Make picks so much easier and make just random shit so much easier. I'm definitely getting one. Utah State versus San Diego State for the Mountain West Championship.
My favorite conference, the Mountain West, Utah State, baby.
I'm going with San Diego State.
God damn it, you suck, dude. You're gonna get all of these wrong.
San Diego State's 11-1.
I'm gonna be real honest. I didn't know either team's record. I just was like Utah State.
San Diego State's a better football team. Appalachia State versus Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, in the Sun Belt Conference. App State's 10-2 and Louisiana's 11-1.
App State, all day, boom, baby.
I'm going App State.
Let's go. Finally, you got one right.
Georgia, Alabama. Georgia is a 6.5-point favorite in this game.
Yes, Georgia's been by far the best team, and they are better than Alabama. But Alabama wins the game because I think they just like chaos. Go ahead, dude.
It's hard for me to pick for that Stetson boy.
No, yeah, I still am confused as to how they're so damn good. That quarterback just he looks like a kicker, bro. He looks like a damn kicker.
Bryce Young. I'm going Georgia, but I'm not happy about it.
That quarterback for Georgia looks like a kicker, bro.
It's tough. I still don't think Georgia can win at all. I think their defense is that good.
Oh, their defense might be the best of all time. It's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Houston versus Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
All
the way, baby.
But imagine the pressure in that game.
Bearcat down.
Michigan versus Iowa. It's an 11-point favorite, Michigan.
I want to pick Iowa, but I'm going to go Michigan.
I'm going to go Iowa. I always go Iowa. Iowa's my squadron. I don't trust Michigan at all.
I don't either, but I also don't trust Iowa.
Michigan lost to Michigan State. Michigan State's not that good. Iowa. I mean, both these teams, who knows?
The Big Ten's always a coin flip, other than Ohio State.
Pittsburgh, Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. Their defense is so bad, but their offense is so good.
Yeah, their offense is sick. All right, so give me a 4. Give me the 4 in.
Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati. I don't know what order.
Pretty much that order.
Yeah.
What it would be.
Yeah.
It would be that order if they won the games they won. It's going to be Georgia, Cincinnati as the 2 seed, Then it's going to be Oklahoma State and Notre Dame is the 4 seed.
No, Notre Dame, you're doing it.
Notre Dame, I see it happening. I just see it.
All right.
That's my 4.
My dude, more than anything, I want them to put Notre Dame in ahead of Cincinnati. I'm rooting for Cincinnati. I hope Cincinnati wins the whole damn show. But I can't wait for the NCAA to try. And if they can find a way to do it, they're going to do it. I guarantee it. I guarantee you, if that 4 spot comes down to Notre Dame or Cincinnati, even though Notre Dame lost to Cincinnati, they'll put Notre Dame in ahead of them.
Money talks, boy.
Money talks. And that's a business. That is not here for our entertainment. They are here to take our money, and they will 100% put Notre Dame in that spot.
So that's our predictions. We'll do more NBA talk when we record and we post it on Spotify. This was fun. It was fun getting back in here. Appreciate all the people hanging in there with us.
Oh, God, just gotta get this good last stretch in.
Rim Breezy's two-tone hoodie and his different colored headband made an appearance. It's good to see. Hey man, who even tries? This is sad.
You see that name right there, boy?
Dude, you don't have to tell me. I'm a big Tua guy. I'm more of a Tua guy than you are a Tua guy.
That's not true. That is not true. I literally won't watch the Dolphins if he's not playing. I don't give a shit about the team. I care about the quarterback.
Tank for Tua, and y'all going to give him away for nothing. I love it. Well, that'll be it for me and Rim Breezy and
Caleb, you keep these comments up about my hairline. I'm going to post your damn picture in the live for the people in here that don't know who you are so they can see.
I can screen share it, Remy, whenever you want.
Oh, I know you can.
I can screen share. I can go to Facebook right now. I could put that big old mug up there and let everybody see.
The 2 people that give me the most shit about my hair are the 2 people that I know that have no hair. So
and are ugly as shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love you boys. But hey, I appreciate everybody stopping in, hanging out. We had fun catching up on a lot of stuff. We'll try to get together sometime and release some more NBA talk because the Lakers suck. That'll be it for me and Rim Breezy and the Hard Pass crew. We will holler at you guys later. Enjoy, was it championship weekend?
Championship weekend.
Peace.
Peace.